Okay, seniors, today we are going to be looking at something that you're going to be pretty familiar with before too long because they're going to be sending you offers in the mail if they haven't already, and that is credit cards. So let's get a little bit of information about credit cards out there first. So, what do you need to know about credit cards? So credit cards were introduced in the 1950s, and you've seen them before. Credit card is just a plastic card that entitles its holder to make purchases and then pay for them later. So there are some upsides to credit cards. You don't need to carry around large sums of cash if you're making big purchases. Credit cards can increase your credit rating, your FICO score, making it easier to get better loan rates on things like a house or a car. Customers have access to a written record of all purchases. So when you get your credit card statement each month, you can see exactly what was charged on the credit card. And also, some cards have cash back or some kind of other rewards programs. So it can be nice to get that little bonus just for spending money that you were going to spend anyway. There are some downsides, though, the big one being that credit cards have been shown to greatly increase impulse purchases. So if you go to the store, or you're just walking out, maybe you're at the mall with some friends, whatever you're doing, and you just got cash in your pocket, and maybe you don't have much cash, then something catches your eye, but you're going to be likely to ignore it because, say, you want to spend that cash on dinner later. If you have a credit card, it's been shown, like scientifically, that you're way more likely to walk into whatever store you're walking by and just buy that thing because you don't have to pay for it right now. That cash stays in your pocket. You just swipe the card and whatever you're looking at is yours. This can get you in trouble, so be careful with it when you're using credit cards. Try to curb your use to things that you actually need. Okay, there are two main types of credit cards. The first one is the one that you probably think of most of the time. It's called a revolving charge account. This is the most common type of credit card. So the entire bill does not need to be paid each month. You've got a credit limit, and it will let you spend up to that credit limit. Whoops. It'll let you spend up to that credit limit. And as long as you don't go over that and you pay the minimums, then they actually like it if you don't pay the whole thing because they get to charge you interest. So unpaid balances are subject to a finance charge. That would be the interest, and that's just based on the APR of the card. There is a second type of card, though, that's called just a charge card, and the two words are kind of used, the two phrases are used interchangeably, credit card and charge card, but they do mean slightly different things. So in a charge card, the entire balance has to be paid off each month. There is no interest, but you do get like pretty high fees if you don't pay off the card in time. There's usually a fee, like a monthly fee for using these cards, but the rewards programs can be pretty awesome. So these are usually high status cards, and think of something like the original American Express, the green one. That would be the go-to example of a charge card. If you have an OG American Express, then you don't carry a balance. You pay it off each month, and you also pay a monthly fee, but you have access to some pretty sweet rewards. And if you upgrade to like the higher status ones, like there is a American Express Black, which last time I knew, this was a while ago, but last time I knew you had to make at least $1 million a year to even qualify for one of these American Express Blacks. But they'll get you like hotel rooms at ski resorts and stuff like that just for using the card. So the rewards programs can be pretty good on these, but again, you have to pay them off. You can't carry a balance. Okay, there is something important with credit cards. It's known as the Truth in Lending Act, and it's actually one of the reasons to use a credit card. And the Truth in Lending Act protects you if your card is stolen. So what does that mean? If your card is stolen, say your wallet is stolen, report it immediately. If you do that, you are only responsible for a maximum of $50 of the charges made on your card before it is reported stolen. And you are not responsible for any of the charges made after you report the card stolen. So this is a big deal because if you have a credit card with a few $1,000 limit, it does not take much for a thief to grab your wallet, grab your purse, and go spend $1,000. I mean, it honestly wouldn't be that hard. Just go buy a couple TVs or a PS5. So report it immediately, and you are not responsible for that. This is different than, say, cash. Let's say you're carrying $500 cash in your wallet. Someone steals your wallet. Well, you're out of luck. Your $500 is gone. They spend it. You're probably never getting it back. And then also, if the card number is stolen, so say on some kind of online skimming program, your card number gets stolen, then you are not responsible for any of the purchases made using the stolen number, including the $50 that you might be responsible for if your card gets stolen. So it is up to the retailer or whoever is taking the card to verify that the card belongs to whoever is giving them the number. So if your number is stolen, then you're not responsible. They can purchase a bunch of stuff from Amazon, and it's up to Amazon to verify that. So you report it to your credit card company, and you don't owe the money. So that is a big advantage to using a credit card, say, over cash or a debit card where the money could just be gone. Okay, here is something called a Schumer box. And every credit card, especially on the monthly bill and when you're signing up for it, will have one of these. So it's named after Senator Chuck Schumer from New York. He's the one that introduced the legislation. I don't remember what year. I probably should have looked that up, but they've been around for a little while. And every credit card company is required to put information about their cards into a box like this so that it's easier for consumers to compare the cards. So you don't have to hunt and peck through a bunch of fine print to find things like APR or monthly fees. They're all right here. So if you look at this one right here, we've got an APR of 22.9%. There's a late payment APR of 24.9%, a minimum finance charge each month of $1. Average daily balance is how they compute it, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Grace period not less than 25 days. So that means if you charge something, then you pay it off within 25 days. There's no interest on it and no annual fee. So the Schumer box shows you that. And if you have a couple different credit cards and you're trying to decide which one to get, you can compare that information pretty easily. Okay, let's get into the actual math, and it's not too bad here. The first thing we need to talk about is monthly periodic rate. So the credit card is going to give you an APR, the annual percentage rate, but you get a bill each month. So you need to be able to calculate the monthly periodic rate. And it's pretty easy to do. You just divide the APR by 12 because there are 12 months in a year. So here's one for you to try. What would be the monthly periodic rate on a card with an APR of 21.6%? Okay, you take 21.6, you divide it by 12, and that will get you 1.8. So the monthly periodic rate is 1.8%, and that is the actual percent that they're going to use to calculate your interest, to calculate that monthly finance charge. Okay, this part's a little bit more complicated, but honestly, it's not too bad. You just have to be kind of thorough in what you're doing. So credit card, the balances are usually an average daily balance, and that's how they figure out exactly how much you're going to pay in interest. Because you'll be, making payments and using the charge card over the course of a month, so your balance is going to change. It's not going to be the same for the entire month. So the average daily balance is the average of the amounts you owed on each day of the billing period. So it is multiplied by the monthly periodic rate to calculate the finance charge. That's just a simple interest calculation. So that I equals P times R times T. And then the T is already taken care of when you calculate monthly periodic rate. So here's an example. Rebecca did not pay her last month's credit card bill in full. So she has a list of what she owed each day, and those are going to be right here. So for 7 days, she owed $456.11. For 3 days, she owed $1,177.60. 6 days, $990.08, etc., etc. So we want to find her average daily balance. And here's how we're going to do this. We're going to multiply each of these separate balances by the number of days that she held that balance. Then we are going to divide by the total number of days in the billing period. So here's an example of how to do that. So she had a 456.11 balance for 7 days, so we multiply. We keep multiplying these all out. Here are all the balances multiplied by the days, and then we add up that entire number. So if you take up her balance each day of the billing cycle and you add up all those numbers, then you get $43,248.05. Now, that's not what she owes. That's what she owes if we add each day up. So what we need to do is figure out how many days are in the billing cycle. And to do that, we just add up all those numbers on the left, 7 plus 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 5. And it looks like this was a 30-day billing cycle. So we take that total balance and divide it by 30 to get the average daily balance. So Rebecca's average daily balance was $1,441.60, which if you look at those balances there, that's kind of in the middle. So that's a number that should make sense. It's like we didn't get anything oddball like $3,000 or anything like that. It's a number that's in the middle of those balances. So it's an average. Okay, suppose Rebecca's card has an APR of 18%. What is her finance charge for this billing cycle? So first off, what is going to be the monthly periodic rate? All right, to find that, we need to divide 18 by 12. So her monthly periodic rate is 1.5%. Now, find the finance charge. And to do that, remember, it's just a simple interest calculation. So multiply that 1.5% times the average daily balance. Okay, the one thing that you needed to remember there, though, is we do need to change that 1.5% to a decimal. So that's 0.015. And that means that her finance charge is $21.61. So for not paying off her entire balance, she does owe an extra $21.61. Okay, that's it for this lesson. And let me go back. Whoops, I guess we'll just go right here. But that's it for this lesson. We're going to continue on with credit cards over the course of the next few lessons. This was just the intro. Make sure to ask any questions if anything wasn't clear, and I will see you in class.